It's another interesting week here in the Finger Lakes. Another interesting week for Kenny's Two Pennies. But I'm not going to begin with what I usually begin with. I'm going to begin by honoring one great pioneer. Yes, this past week we lost Ruth Bader-Ginsburg, who was only the second woman to ever serve on the Supreme Court. Even though she was mostly liberal in that she was a giant among giants, even though she was barely 5 feet tall. But whatever, she was a pioneer for women serving on the Supreme Court. She was a darn good justice. She did her job. We honor her. But there's just one thing about it. Why are people calling her the Notorious RBG? Yeah, I don't think Miss Ginsburg, Your Honor, became a rap star. Thing is, the only thing she probably rapped was a lot of cookies or cakes or whatever she probably might have baked. But who knows? Yeah, the Notorious RBG. But I don't think there's anybody going, Ruthie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. Well, thing is, her words did hypnotize a lot of people, especially your stance on a lot of issues. And yeah, even with her liberalism, she made friends with some of the conservative members of the Supreme Court, including, God rest his soul, Antonin Scalia. But you know what? Thing is, I just wonder. The Notorious RBG. And of course, there's a lot of talk about who's going to replace her on the Supreme Court. President Trump has said that it's going to be another woman. And one of the favorites is one who is a devout Catholic. And I mean, a lot of religious conservatives favor her. And the thing is, you heard Senator Feinstein say, the dogma resides in you. And that's one of the main things of Catholicism is dogma. But I'd love to say something, but it might sound blasphemous. So you know what? I'm going to kind of, leave that to be. But of course, somebody says dogma. Oh well. Rest in peace, Your Honor Ginsburg. You were a giant among giants. And now I'm going to talk about my regular stuff here. First, it seems as though OITNF. That was the mantra that Dino Babers brought when he became the coach of the Orange. OITNF. Orange is the new fast. After 2 games, it should be OITNB. Orange is the new bad. Is this what we're supposed to expect from your Art Briles style offense, Coach Babers? Tommy DeVito acting like a piñata back there in the pocket. It just seems as though the offensive line is just overwhelmed. It seems at times you're just pretty indecisive when you're back in the pocket. And you were a big-time recruit. What's going on here? The offense is just plain offensive. Although I will say, the running game started to have a few lanes open for it. Plus, from what I saw, the new freshman running back, Sean Tucker, looks like he could be a pretty good one. But DeVito looks indecisive and everything. Of course, his backup, who is a great story because he survived cancer 2 years ago, Rex Culpepper, he seems to be the one that wants to chuck it. His chucking had finally provided Syracuse with their first touchdown. But for an offense that was supposed to put up video game numbers, it's extremely paltry right now. The defense is carrying the day right now. Defense looks much improved, but the defense can't do everything. Look what happened against North Carolina. They got gassed because the offense couldn't support them so much, and the defense petered out. Although it was much closer against Pittsburgh, still, the defense can't carry the day. Of course, if you try to carry the day, it's a heavy weight. That's what it looks like right now, because I think the defense might be about to collapse. And guess what? It's time to see what the startlingly new improved Carrier Dome is supposed to look like, albeit no fans. Georgia Tech comes into the Dome this Saturday, and we'll get to see what the fixed roof looks from the inside. But I mean, I lament it because, hey, no fans, including me. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the new building looks like. I mean, it's part of the project to spiff up the dome. We'll see what it looks like. But now, let's hope for one thing. A win. What winning is something Buffalo's been doing pretty good so far through 2 games. Yes, the offense definitely looks improved there. Unlike with Syracuse, Allen is chucking it all over the field. And I mean, I wanted to have my first 2 shows. A word to kind of describe the show. Maybe I can describe it for this segment. Excavation. Especially with our great new acquisition, Stephon Diggs. Yeah, he's digging the competition. Yeah, excavation, digging. Yeah, he could bury the competition all his own. 8 catches, 153 yards if I'm correct for the stats. And of course, we got great supporting cast. Cole Beasley. But the running game, they're doing a little bit. But I mean, hey, Singletary and Moss can't really carry the day right now. It's all Allen. And Allen finally showing that, hey, you don't have to run as much. We want to depend on your arm. Because, you've been running too much. And Allen, if you run too much, that's a good way to get yourself killed there in the pocket or killed running towards the sideline. And finally, Bass didn't miss any kicks. Hooray! Yeah, those first 2 kicks. Yeah, you miss another kick, I'm liable to bass you in the head. But whatever. A game Miami team led by former Bill and Beardy Ryan Fitzpatrick. What is it with the beard? Every time I get a little too much stubble on my face, I have to shave. Oh well. But what a great win for Buffalo against Miami. 31-28. But you know what? Quit going into that prevent defense. You're going to give Bills fans like me a heart attack. And with the Rams coming to Orchard Park this Sunday, we got to watch out for Jared Goff and the boys. He can golf it just like this. Whack! Oh, wrong sport. But a good segue to what I say for my next little bit. Congratulations to Bryson DeChambeau there at Winged Foot there, winning the U.S. Open. But it's just like everything else. This and another little segue into another segment. The playoffs starting for the NBA, NHL, and pretty soon for Major League Baseball. Not seeing the fans there. And of course, there at Winged Foot, DeChambeau won by 6 strokes. Pretty good win. But I mean, it just wasn't the same U.S. Open. Albeit he didn't have a collapse like Phil Mickelson 14 years ago, especially when his shots banged off a VIP tent and caught an elm tree solid on the final hole. Oh well, congratulations to Bryson DeChambeau. And for the other playoffs, I mean, there's the things called bubbles. Yeah, you got the NBA in a bubble, you got the NHL in a bubble. Is that what's going to have with Major League Baseball? Soon those bubbles may burst, but who knows? Right now, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Dallas Stars for the Stanley Cup. and they're heading into the semis for the NBA. And right now, LeBron James and the LA Lakers are the favorites. But do we need any more messages, LeBron James? Stick to playing basketball. And of course, for Major League Baseball, all eyes are there. Maybe that the Yankees could maybe make the playoffs. Because, I mean, it's been up and down with the Yankees. The Oakland A's already have made the playoffs. But we'll see. It's going to be an interesting fall coming up. Not only with football, but all the playoffs. But keep it in those bubbles and keep any more messages to yourself, LeBron James. Enough. That's all I have time for this week. And I'll see you next week. And sorry, no Naples Grape Festival, nor any Geneseo Air Show. We gotta wait till next year.